One of the modules Legal Aid has produced is around sexting. Now, we're calling sexting sexy pics, but the real legal term for that, of course, is child pornography or child exploitation material. Now, it's against the law to ask for, send, take or keep a sexy pic of someone who is under the age of 18 or who looks under the age of 18. Now, that can be really confusing for young people most young people realise that the age of consent for sexual activity is 16, but there are Commonwealth laws that govern this area of the law, and it's a really, really important message to get across to kids because young people are being charged with child pornography offences because of laws that were meant to catch pedophiles who were sexually preying on young people. So we've produced the module with this in mind. There's lots of different information on the module, including information about the law, information about who you can turn to for help, and also what the legal consequences are. There are real stories on there, and this is a very effective way to get the message across to kids that these laws apply to everyone. As a criminal lawyer representing young people for many years, one of the areas of the law that really concerns me that young people are getting trouble for is sex and consent. It is against the law to have sex with someone who is under the age of consent, which is 16. Now, a lot of young people get confused between legal and factual consent. A 15-year-old can say yes 100 times, but they cannot legally consent to any sexual activity. And that's a really important message. Now, a lot of young people, when they hear that, they think everyone's having sex underage and no one's getting caught. Well, what we've produced is a module to show real stories and give information about how young people are getting caught. There are many different ways that young people are getting reported for having underage sex, and that includes when a relationship breaks up, when a parent finds out, or when another relative or friend makes a complaint to police. So it's really important for kids to understand that children are being charged with these offences, and the consequences are a criminal record that says sexual penetration of a child and being placed on the sex offender register. Now, the module that we've produced has information about the law, information about where you can go to for help, counselling help, legal help and other sorts of help, and also shows real stories, has games and a quiz to make sure that the message is really reinforced. It's also important for kids to understand that consent, even if someone is over the age of 16, must be given freely and voluntarily. We've produced this resource which also points out that if someone's drunk, affected by drugs, has a mental health problem or some sort of issue why they can't consent freely, then if you have any sort of sexual activity with them, you could be charged with a very serious offence which could end you up with a criminal record and placed on the sex offender register. If you want to access any of the modules I've spoken about today, you go to the Legal Aid website and go to Legal Resources. Are You Legal? Click on the More link. Click here to launch Are You Legal, which will take you to a place where you need to log in. So it's a fairly straightforward process, and that will enable you to have a look at all the sexting, the cyberbullying, age of consent and identity theft modules, and access all the information that's available there.